Hey, what's going on everybody? Talon back here, and today I want to talk about something that could be a little controversial, but I want to talk about the good, the bad, and how to improve Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. I'm going to be focusing on the Japanese version, which can easily be applied to the global. So let's get started. So first, let's talk about the good. There are actually some very good stuff. I mean, first off, this is a free-to-play game. We did not have to pay anything for this. You can play this entire game without having to pay a single dime, okay? Or yen, if I guess for Japanese currency there. So let's go with some of the good points. First is the DBZ world. I mean, this is literally playing within the entire DBZ world. You've got the teams, the cards, the training, the trading, all the Dokkans awakening, transforming. That's what the whole show has been about, getting better. So, they really do capture that feel and aesthetic from the show and the manga. The next good point is how many cards there are. I mean, looking at this encyclopedia here, we've got every single character you can almost think of. And yes, they are adding more, and there are some that have not been introduced yet, but they're going to get there eventually. Let's face it. Come on. But I mean, there are just so many. I mean, heck, you just look at the Saws here, and you go down to where they have the Super Saiyans, the Saiyajins. Man, you start with Goku, you go all the way down. Look at that. Man, you've really got a lot of them. Whew, man. Alright, so there are definitely plenty of cards, and you can easily find your favorite in there, unless you're looking for like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but that's GT, this is Z. So yeah, they have some GT characters, but they mostly focus on the Z times. The next point is there is plenty of content for this game. You don't have to pay a cent. I mean, you have story missions. I mean, you have 18 main story missions, each with about, I'd say on average, about 6 or 7 levels, probably more for most of them. And then you've got multiple difficulties, normal, hard, and Z hard. That's pretty good in my opinion. So you're not doing too shabby there on the content. And that's just the story itself. Then we go to events here. I mean, you have returning events all the time. You have new events. I mean, it just keeps going and going. And I mean, some of the returning events, I mean, like this one is always available, so you can always try and Dokkan Awaken the Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, who doesn't like Goku's a Super Saiyan? You have all the Awakening medals every day during the week, so that you can get your favorite characters more and more. We've got, daily events like Mr. Popo here, which allows you to get some really good either training, medal, or support items, more training items, and then you have character ones, which are really fun. So, it's some pretty good stuff there that you really get. And, they always bring back these special events. Like, right now we have this really hard Gohan event going on right now. And that will be gone in, I think, a week, maybe. Let's see. According to the event, it will be gone after we get through all of these. It'll be gone on the 12th next week. But, it will be back. These events always come back. So, if you miss it or your team's not strong enough, definitely you can just wait around a bit, get stronger, and you'll be able to go right back into it. They've also included a lot of new features that have really improved the game, and the biggest one I have to talk about is Baba's Shop here. Able to take characters, medals, items that you've gotten and turn them into points to then buy items that, can help you further along in the game. That's just part one. Part two is the Zenny, which is not really used a lot, but hey, I like to stockpile my senzu beans, so right there with you. I really love that part. And the new part, which was just added in Japan, is the stones or the fruit that you can get to then buy certain things. I mean, yeah, you got medals, which you're probably thinking, oh, come on, they could just added that into the game and you could find them. Yeah, but look, right here, man, you can get an old Kai character, and this ups your super by 1. Yeah, you ain't finding that on any normal level or anything. So, I mean, even you got the Kai medals, the train stuff, all of this. And if you go down to the stones, which, still has another plus 40 days on it or something like that, you can get character cards. And these are not your normal rare cards that you get from his friend summon. These are SSRs that you can get. So I'm almost getting to my Gohan here. I will add him to my team. Finally have a good intel guy. Ooh, things are looking up for me. So, you cannot complain about it. So, and even things like new story missions. I mean, the game used to have only 15 story missions, and now you have 18. It's an additional 3. And, the developers easily could have looked at this game and said, okay, we put the game out, we'll throw some random new cards in there every now and then, and we're not really going to do anything about it. You know, we're not going to update it, you know, make the server stable or anything. You know, another great example of this would be the World Tournament. They have put, I want to say, like 8 World Tournaments on so far, and you know, they keep going. Yeah, you know, there's some issues with it, but you know, overall, it's more content, it's more stuff to do. So, you know, you really can't complain about that. So, all right, now, good points aside, let's talk about some of the not so good points. Now, let's call them, let's not call them negative or anything. Let's just say things that could be improved, or things that, you know, maybe a lot of us don't really like, or personally that I don't like. You know, you may disagree with me on that, so if you do, please, you know, keep it civil, and let's talk about it in the comments, and let's discuss how can we improve this, because you never know. Someone at the company may be watching this, and you never know what could change. So, first, for me, let's start with the cost of the stones. Yeah, a little on the expensive side, guys. I know why you do it. I know why. It's a free-to-play game, so you need to make money off of it somehow. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to keep your programmers going to check the servers, make new content, all that kind of stuff. I understand that completely. I truly do. You are a business after all. But a little expensive, you know, especially for, you know, like 90 stones, that's $50 right there. And when you have a multi-summon that costs you 50, that's over half the stones already right there. So either, you know, I'll talk about how to improve stuff in the next section, but I don't know, either costs for the stones needs to go down just a little bit, just a tad, in my opinion, or the cost of summons needs to go down a bit. So I'll get to more of that in the next section about how to improve, or what I personally think. And yes, you can get you can play this game completely free. You do not have to pay a cent, but once you finish a story and a lot of the events, especially if you're at a moment in the game where a lot of the events are gone, or you've completed them all, you've got to basically wait for the daily rewards. And if you're at 0, you slowly start going up. And, you know, by the time you get that 50 stones you need for a summon, you could, because some of the summon rates are not the greatest, you're going to get nothing. And it's like, well, I just wasted my stones then. So another thing is they keep adding more cards, which is great. You always want new cards, new content, which is always good, but it leaves the older cards kind of in the dust. Now, they have started to make this a little better with doing the villains only event, where you're able to get medals for some of the hero SSR cards to then Dokkan Awaken them to make them a little bit better, which, you know, kind of brings them more in line with the more powerful characters, Gogeta. So, but, you know, they're slowly doing that, but, you know, they're just adding a lot of cards in these days, and it makes you feel like a lot of those really good ones you got maybe a couple months ago don't really work. A prime example here is if we go into the encyclopedia and look at Adult Gohan. This was the very first Adult Gohan to come out, and you're thinking, oh man, this guy's actually pretty good. And he's got some downs and ups, but you know, what card doesn't? But now look at his newest one, the Intel version that just came out. Yeah, I'm sorry, nothing beating this guy right now. Yeah, you can claim that, you know, his leader skill here gives you +2 ki to everybody. I'm sorry, Gogeta already beats that and does more. And then if you Dokkan Awaken his Intel version, yeah, I'm sorry. Just saying. I mean, I know he can be Dokkan Awaken here, which I have not personally seen / I don't have him, but yes, yeah, just not that good. I mean, you're basically duped. So, you know, they could change this in the future. I don't know. So, but that is something I don't particularly like, is when you have that situation where you've finally gotten some really good card, and then like next week there's like, oh, by the way, that card, yeah, here's another version of that card, but almost better in every way. So, you know, yes, there are some benefits to this Gohan over his Intel, but personally for me, looking at it, I would say his Intel version is the better of the two. So, and then the last thing that, you know, can definitely leave a sore spot for a lot of people, especially in global, is the summons and the pull rates especially. Oh my gosh, I mean, I know Japan is a little better when it comes to the pull rate, but ever had that feeling? You finally get those 50 stones, you pull it, and you're thinking, come on, you at least go Super Saiyan 2, maybe even get a Rainbow. SR, the highest. That's it. Nothing more. You know, SSRs, bye-bye. Nope, no SSRs, no nothing. You're just like, wow, guys, thanks. You know, that's exactly what I wanted. You know, I wanted that 10th Bulma that I've gotten, or that 10th Goten or something like that. You're just like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Nope. So that definitely leaves something to be desired a bit. So the last section of this, though, I'm just gonna call how I think it can be improved just a bit, and I think could extend the life of the game. Now, there are gonna be a lot of people who are gonna say no, yes, no, do this, no, do this. I get that. So leave your comments down below. Let's keep this civilized, and let's just try to see what kind of how can we improve this game a bit. So first off, which I think could be added to the game, is a type of trading system. Now, hang on before you go, whoa. People just make multiple accounts. They're going to trade with each other, get the best. No, okay? Got to have some rules for this, okay? Obviously. Rule number 1, you have to have beaten the entire story, Z hard and all. That does take some time, okay? Rule 2, you need to be level 130 or higher. Some people will say 200, but I find once you reach about 130 or so, unless there's double XP or triple XP going on, it is actually kind of hard to level up a bit. So I'd say around 130 is good. The next one is when you are trading a card, it has to be of equal or higher value. So for example, let's say you want a Gogeta. If you want a Gogeta, maybe you can put it on some kind of board or something and be like, okay, I have a SSR Goku strength. This is what I want. This is what I want. Someone leave a comment or something like that, or however they want to try and do something like that. Then that will allow you to hopefully trade with somebody who is looking for a said card. And then the next rule would be you can only trade maybe once every 2 weeks, or once every month, or once every 3 weeks, or something like that. It's all up in the air for discussion about how you want to do it, but that is one way to definitely go about it. So, like for example, this is my side account right here. I have Gogeta, but if you look at the cards on the screen around this main picture here, I don't have Gogeta in my other account, and I would love to have Gogeta in my other account. I started to go for the medals when the event came back, but I was just like, man, I cannot get Gogeta for the life of me. So, and then, there's always the case of, well, if people are re-rolling, are they going to just trade with themselves? Well, technically they could, but first off, on that side account, they need to get the guy up, which is why I had the level cap in there. And, there's probably some more changes that need to be implemented, but I think at least be a good start. Now, the only reason I can think of that they have not done something like this is because it would lose you money. I mean, if people really tried and they re-rolled a lot, they could get some really good cards, just push through the leveling and all the story missions and everything, and then trade with themselves. And yeah, it would take you a while, but within 3 or 4 months, if you had 4 cards that you need to give to your Uber account, well, there you go. And then it's like, well, okay, no need for this. I don't need to buy stones. Yeah, the next one guy comes out, let's re-roll again. So, maybe try to stop, something in there. I'm not really sure what they could do, but I honestly think a trading system would be really cool, and it kind of just brings the community together. You're always going to get those people who abuse the system, but you know what, that is every single game in existence. So you can't just say, well, it would happen with this. It's like, well, it's happened with every AAA title, every mobile game, you name it. So that excuse is getting old in my opinion. So next one is either stones need to cost less or the multis need to cost less. Raise your hand. 50 multi-summon, nothing but SRs and rares. Yeah. No. Or, you finally buy the stones, you give in, you get that iTunes card, you buy the stones, and oh, wow, I got nothing for those, 3 multi-summons in a row. Thanks, game. Thanks a lot. So, I don't know, something needs to change there, or, going into my next point now will be the summons. Hoping to stop with getting those stupid rares, or, I personally think multi-summons need to give away one SSR. Yes, I know people are going to say, well, SSRs are supposed to be the really good cards in the game. Let's face it, guys, there are a lot of SSRs out there now. So, either the game needs to find a way to say, okay, look, we've given this guy 20 Bulmas and he sold them every single time, or 15 Gohans or something, kid style. Let's find a way to either stop the game from giving that account those cards again, or if they have saved their stones and they've truly taken the time to wait, I think they deserve a guaranteed SSR. You know, however you want to pull the randomization for getting said SSR for whatever SSR you get, you know, compared to Gogeta or Vegito or whatever, you know, go for it. But that I personally think needs to change just a little bit. And finally, my last little piece of advice would have been some kind of trading system to get back stones or something. For example, trading in 5 SRs gets you 1 stone or something. You know, I'm completely just throwing a random example out here. It could be better, it could be worse than that. But something to get it back, because when you do those multi-summons, if they're not going to bring down the price or change the way that, you know, are guaranteed an SSR and a multi-summon or something, then there needs to be a way that when you get a really bad multi-summon, maybe trading back all 10 cards will give you 5 stones or something, you know, or trading back half those cards will give you 1 or 2 stones or something. Just something to do that, because, man, it is just such a bummer. And I know this is coming back to the summons in the end, but with the way they keep adding new cards, which like I said, it's great, it's a bummer when you're trying to go for that new card and you can't get anything. I did my 40 card summon for both the Gohan event and the GT event. I got SRs for both of them for best. That was it. So, you know, whether the game's reading the fact that I do have a card like Gogeta in this account, you know, I don't know how their code is done, but something needs to change there in my opinion. So, I mean, in the end of the day, though, for this video, guys, I love the game. I personally love playing it. You know, it's great for me to play on the train every time I come home, or, you know, when I stream it for you guys or make these videos for you. But these are just some things that I think could improve the game overall. You know, I don't know what future content is coming out. The latest thing that we just got was the Gohan event, and I know there's something coming out with the you know, the monkey forms for the Saiyans. I don't know what that entitles or what that entails, but hopefully it's really fun, which I personally think it will be. But those are some changes I think could really, really help improve the game and maybe bring some people back, because you definitely see a lot of people trading accounts, selling accounts and everything. And, you know, maybe this would be a way to bring them back. You know, let's face it, we all love Dragon Ball Z. That's why we're watching these videos or watching the streams or playing the game. So, you know, we don't like to leave those games, but, you know, I think something needs to change. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, if you have any concerns, or maybe you got some ideas of your own, leave them down in the comments. Or if you have some ideas to maybe change what I've said, or you disagree, once again, keep it civil, but let's talk down in the comments below. So, until next time, guys, have a good one, and take it easy.